Good morning, zookeepers, and welcome back to Community Zoo on Planet Zoo. Today, Jack asked for some red foxes, so that's exactly what we're going to add. I'm going to be making a small enclosure for these red foxes because I don't need massive amounts of space because they're only small animals, and I feel like a lot of time I can really oversize my enclosures, which is kind of good for the animals, and sometimes don't always feel as realistic or as grounded as some enclosures are in a lot of zoos. So this one, I took a little bit of inspiration from a fox sanctuary, and it was kind of an interesting looking enclosure. I don't think the enclosure's on show for public, there's just photos of it, but it looks kind of pretty nevertheless. This kind of like shed-like building at the back, and it had this fancy fencing, it had like chainmail around, but then certain areas of glass. Like honestly, you looked at this building and it looked like it could have been in a zoo for a red fox rather than an actual sanctuary where you don't get to see it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this one. I tried making it as simple as possible, but also try and add detail, like all the different supports for the roof and things like this, as you can see what I'm making right now. So then I'm pretty sure these are built like that so the metal poles in the middle don't bend. I don't know the full technical breakdown of making roofing with chain mail, not really chain link fence. Yeah, I don't know the full-on kind of like the workaround behind that bit, but yeah, I've seen it done like this before. So yeah, that's the roof. Nice, simple, didn't take too long to make, and it's kind of effective. It adds like a very bright color. I wish there was a way to dull this metal a bit without it being so shiny. I like the shininess, but I feel like I think it's a very stark contrast from the wood. It'd be kind of nice to like dull it down, make it more greyed and shiny. Add a fair bit of like enrichment here, there, and everywhere around the enclosure, and I decided to like hide this nice little burrow, make it look like sort of got like a little second kind of den in a rock, like a mini cave kind of vibe, and it definitely fits the rest of the enclosure and looks kind of cool as a little scenery piece. I had like a fair few different plants that the foxes actually like. I didn't add anything I wanted because it just happened to be the case of things that I wanted the fox actually liked. So I did add things I wanted, but you know, you get what I'm getting at here. The foxes like the things I was choosing for them. I didn't want to completely fill the enclosure full of plants like I like to do in a lot of builds, mainly because the foxes are quite small and you would never see them, and I feel like the whole point of this is to be able to see the foxes. So I had a fair few plants. I don't add in loads of rocks everywhere like I usually do. I kept the rocks just for the den, and that is the rocky scenery bit, and I didn't want to take away from that by adding like loads of rocks here, there and everywhere. And I just go around, find loads of different plants for them, and honestly I really like this small enclosure. I feel like it has a great impact. I hope that you also like it. It's given some inspiration for your smaller builds, especially for things like the red foxes in the game, and honestly the red fox is absolutely adorable. I don't know if any, well, the zoos I've been to near me don't actually have red foxes because we have foxes everywhere. Like I see them crossing the road when I go down to the park and things like this, and you hear them in the night. And have you ever heard a fox call? It's kind of terrifying when you're walking by yourself, but then you sort of like, unless you didn't know, you're like, oh, it's just a fox. But honestly, what a noise that they make. But yeah, anyways, I'd like to say thank you for watching. I hope this has given you some inspiration for your builds. And don't forget to put in the comments what kind of animal you'd like to see in the next community zoo. And even tell me the kind of enclosure you'd like to see. And is there a certain theme you want to see me make? Anything of the sorts, you put that down in the comments and I'll get through to it. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.
What's your story?